Ladies and gentlemen, the Near Fall Network proudly brings to you the modern-day Micah Russia, the guru of grappling gab, the one, the only, Shooter!
Say hello to the bald guy and bow down to your king. Welcome to Drive-By. We have a huge show, a shitload to talk about. Doesn't even describe it today. As always, I am
It's the biggest drive-by of all time.
It is
ever driven by.
It's the biggest drive-by of all drive-bys. There's bullets and shit and ass flying everywhere. It's our 1-year anniversary. Technically my 1-year anniversary, but since you are now the unofficial official co-host, and technically, but let's just be honest, you're the official co-host at this point. We're moving into this transition before Wrestlemania season ends. I might even put the new logo up today, Mike. What do you think?
I think you should.
I think I'm going to. Moving on up. We just gotta wait for that awesome.
To a deluxe apartment in the sky.
It's a shame that you just gave them the teaser to what our new intro is gonna sound like.
It is 100% a shot-for-shot remake of the opening of Good Times. And the Jeffersons. My bad, that was the Jeffersons. Shot-for-shot remake of the Jeffersons opening. It's going to be a video. It's going to be the only video segment on the entire show. But every week you're going to get a shot-for-shot remake of the opening of the Jeffersons credits.
That actually is a fantastic idea.
Moving on
now,
okay,
I think we should do that.
Right,
okay, so moving on, I am Mike Shooter Marcus, and as always, my partner, the King of Nerds, Mike Forrest, and we are here to take you through what is the biggest week in professional wrestling, weekend, I should technically correct, but we start really on Thursday with some special things for the people that are in New Orleans, and we go in through Friday, which is the Hall of Fame, which already happened. But we record this kayfabe on Thursday, Friday, so we haven't seen it yet. Saturday, NXT TakeOver, and Sunday, the big daddy of them all, Wrestlemania. That's not even talking about all the crazy, awesome independent wrestling that goes on in New Orleans, the conventions, access, all that crazy shit that one day I hope to be a part of. I'm sure, Mike, you feel the same way.
Of course I do.
So, we're here to give you guys a little bit of insight, a little bit of lowdown, and let's just talk about the two things that we're here to talk about, NXT TakeOver and WrestleMania 34. And what better place to start than NXT TakeOver? I mean, I don't want to break every match down because we got a ton of stuff to unpack here for WrestleMania 34, but NXT TakeOver, we'll just go over the card. The card is, to be quite honest, stacked. NXT Tag Team Championships being defended by Undisputed Era, who is now being represented by Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly because Bobby Fish is injured. Authors of Pain and Roddy Strong and Pete Dunne. These teams were in the Dusty Classic, and Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly interfered in one of the matches, so now apparently they got added to the Dusty Classic. So this match is for the championships and the Dusty Classic trophy. I'm not sure how that works out, but I don't even care because I love it.
I'm not sure. I don't keep up with NXT as much as I should, but man, that's a weird thing to have up for grabs. That's like when WCW used to have the Battle Bowl ring up for grabs. It's like, right, like I won the Battle Bowl though, so I get to, like, you can take the ring, but I still won the Battle Bowl itself. So, that's weird to me. Also, am I the only one that thinks the Dusty Classic sounds like a sex maneuver?
The Cleveland Steamer and the Dusty Classic.
Yeah, man, you know, me and the wife are going to go out and see a movie later. I'm going to wine her and dine her, bring her home, and give her a Dusty Classic.
That's only going to work out.
I'm going to hit her in the forehead with an elbow.
It only works out if you hit her in the forehead with the elbow and say, "Baby, you don't know what you're about to experience, baby. It's the American dream, baby.
Baby, it's the son of a plumber, baby. I'm about to plumb you.
I'm about to lay some pipe, baby, if you know what I mean.
Son of a plumber, about to lay some pipe, baby."
But yeah, so, I mean, right there, good match. Probably Look, I can't even say it has a chance to steal the show because every single one of these matches has
Dave
that chance.
Meltzer gives it 3.5 stars.
It's a solid prediction, but go ahead. Out of those teams, who do you think walks away with these titles and the Classic Trophy?
I think, here's the thing. I'm looking at this from the outside, like, you know, you're not looking at it from a storyline point of view. I think Cole and O'Reilly retain. I guess it would be retain. I think that the Authors of Pain, they're headed main roster Monday night.
Yeah,
right?
I
Monday
would
night,
agree.
We figure they're showing up, right?
I'm thinking.
And Roderick Strong's already on 205 Live. And I'm sorry, Pete Dunne just isn't here enough to put any title on him other than, you know, that European whatever title that we never see ever.
Right.
So I think the obvious choice is just for Cole and O'Reilly to retain for the Undisputed Era. Fish comes back, they slide right back into what they were doing.
Yep, I would agree that they are my pick to win this match. Another match, Women's NXT Championship, Shayna Baszler challenging the champion, Ember Moon. I'm like you, man. I monitor NXT when I can, but there's just so much content out there, it's hard to keep up. But NXT does this amazing job to where, as good as all their weekly shows are, you still don't have to watch them all the time. You get the takeover and you get everything fed to you and you are hooked from start to finish. So watching Shayna Baszler, watching her in the Mae Young Classic, watching Ember Moon chase the title when Asuka was champ and then eventually win this title. Shayna Baszler, man, I think she's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future on the main roster, and I think this is her night. I think she takes that title off for Ember Moon, and Ember Moon comes up to the main roster as well.
That's almost exactly what I think. If you watch their match that they had last time, Ember Moon got lucky.
She beat her because she was the better pro wrestler.
Yes, she was a pro wrestler. If it was a fight, she got beat the F up. But it was a pro wrestling match. So she won on a pro wrestling maneuver. And it was, look at the inexperience. The experience, what got her. I think this time, Baszler gets it. Ember Moon on Monday.
Yeah, yep. And I think that's, again, the right move. I've heard people say that Moon should stay in NXT, and I don't agree with it. I don't disagree with it. I think she will. I've heard the argument that she might get lost on the main roster, and I just don't think there's enough women on both rosters for someone to get lost if they invest in them. Now, I know you can throw the Tamina and the Lanas and even the Becky Lynch on our face, but SmackDown's title was held up because of the Asuka thing. So we had women not doing stuff.
Whatever happened to the Tamina Lana story?
Well, Tamina got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
But I was really hoping for that lesbian love story to come into play at some point in time.
Why is Lana always in abusive relationships? Kayfabe.
That's a good question.
Something to think about.
It's a very good question. Who sets that up?
I don't know.
Who booked this shit?
It's not for this show.
It's not for
not
this show.
Not this episode. A slow week.
Yeah, slow week, we'll break that down. We got way too much damn shit to talk about, and something that is brand new is what I think all of the internet wrestling community is calling the NXT mid-card title, the North American Championship. Before we even talk about the match, Mike, I want to talk about the title itself, or what Vince would hate you to call it, the belt. You did see this, correct?
Oh yeah, I saw this.
And from your response, I'm going to say you probably feel the same way I do. This title is badass looking. It's a throwback. It's classic. If I had one thing to nitpick, I would change the strap from brown to black, but that's just me. Other than that, this title belt, in my opinion, is flawless.
That strap was brown?
In the picture I saw, it sure damn looked brown.
It looked red in the video.
Maybe it is red. Maybe it just had the tint.
I'll be honest with you, I don't love this and I don't hate it. I saw it and was like, okay, it's a belt. I'm dead in the middle with this. I'm exactly on the fence. I don't like it enough to cheer for it, and I don't hate it enough to be a douchebag online about it. I'm just it's a belt. Maybe it'll grow on me, maybe it won't. Who knows? Like the Universal title, I fought the exact same way with, and now I really like it. So who knows?
I like all the main roster belts. I even like the tag belts that people just despise. And I actually think when they made the change to the silver plates with the brand specific color belts, I thought they looked great.
That was a brilliant idea. Because I wasn't a fan of them. They did look like giant pennies. There was no getting around.
Oh yeah, no, totally. There's no argument on that.
Silver with the specially colored leather, they were outstanding. And personally, I think the women's titles are two of the best belts they've ever done ever in the history of this company.
Yep, and that was this was the funny thing, not to get off topic, but the thing I saw people complaining about this North American belt was that they just rebranded all these titles and they all made them pretty uniform, which they did, and this looks nothing like it. But at the same time, the exact opposite group would complain if they did look exactly like it and say, well, it looks like every other damn belt. This is just another damn NXT belt that is identical and blah, blah, blah. And I like the identical kind of style. I like how on the main roster, the Universal, the WWE, and the the women's Raw and SmackDown all have a similar, just like UFC. It's just like a different weight class. I'd be okay if they did that with the tag titles. I'd be okay if they did that with the cruiserweight. And I'd be okay if the North American title was similar to the other NXT titles. But that being said, I'm also not going to cry on the internet about what a damn championship belt looks like.
Yeah, who the hell are we? We don't make these choices. We don't invent these things. We're just guys that talk about wrestling on the internet.
Exactly.
At least we have a podcast to do it on. We're not just some, impotent fucks clacking away at the Twitter machine.
Yeah.
I don't like the way the belt looks. Well, motherfucker, do something to get a job to get you in the power to make the way the belt looks.
We also do not live in our parents' basements.
I don't like that belt. You're going to keep watching it, so shut up, man.
Exactly.
You know what?
That's
those ones that whine the loudest, those are always the jagoffs that are the most, they're the ones that are going to watch week to week. The ones, I'll quit watching because of this. No, you won't. You're exactly the one that they know is not going to leave.
Man. It's no wonder that we are on the same show together because we think so much alike.
I'm watching New Japan. No, you won't, man. No, you won't. It's still too fucking hard to find. No, you won't.
And even if you do, you'll still watch Raw and SmackDown and WrestleMania. Raw.
Every Monday, you're going to watch all 3 fucking hours of it.
Yep.
You stupid
and then you're going to complain about it being 3 hours.
You grown-ass child human.
Anyway, let's reel this back in.
Yeah, let's pull it back.
The ladder match for the brand new NXT North American Championship. Adam Cole pulling double duty.
Baby.
Velveteen Dream, probably my personal new favorite on NXT's roster. Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and EC3. Who you got, Mike?
I think Velveteen Dream.
Okay, and
I'll give you
reasoning.
I think that this title was created exactly for Velveteen Dream, not him personally, but people of his ilk.
Yes.
Where it's
I can get behind that.
Whereas we had a time when Bo Dallas was the NXT champion, right? Bo Dallas from NXT. I'm not saying Bo Dallas now, but that Bo Dallas from NXT 2013?
Mm-hmm.
If we took him and planted him in NXT today, he'd have no chance at that title. None. A single glance. And I think that this is for guys that are homegrown NXT guys to get them a belt. Because in a day and age when you've got Adam Cole, EC3, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, homegrown guys are going to have a harder time. So I think that this is a way to get a belt on those homegrown guys, Baron Corbins of the world.
Tyler Breeze.
This is
Ty
like exactly the type
Yes.
of belt Tyler Breeze and Ty Dillinger should have had. Exactly the kind.
Yep.
Fuck that, man. Tyler Breeze should have had an NXT championship run. Anyway,
Yeah, I agree.
but I think it's more for these type of homegrown guys now that are going to have a harder time breaking through that ceiling of indie darling. But with that said, Ricochet, EC3, and Adam Cole, I'll have a shot at this as well, right?
Yeah, I would agree, and actually my pick, and this is going to go exactly against, even though I totally agree with everything you just said, I think it's going to EC3. I think they want to make him a big deal, and I don't know that he's going to be on this roster long. So I think we're going to let him, who has a history, has a past, has a following, comes from TNA, people know who he is. I think he's going to win this title, and then he's going to quickly transition to the main roster to give the title a little bit of a... Not that any of these guys don't give it credibility, but you get what I'm saying?
No,
like, here's a guy who was a world champ in another organization. He's going to give some credibility to this new title, and then the next person up is going to look that much stronger.
This is a guy that could realistically show up on SmackDown next week and win the U.S. title, and you wouldn't blink an eye.
Exactly.
He would lend an immense amount of credibility. I mean, like, it's all your points are amazing points, as you.
Exactly. So he's my pick. You're taking Dream. Look, between the only two that I don't want to see win this title is Killian Dane, because I don't think he needs it with Sanity, and Lars Sullivan, because for some reason the guy looks great. He looks like a freak, and I have no interest in him at all.
I think those two have absolutely no chance of winning it. Those are the two names in this that are like no shot, none.
I'd love to see an Adam Cole belt sweep. Retain the tags.
To see Adam Cole just start working this company.
Yeah.
But I think they're probably saving him for, Aleister Black. I think is probably going to win the title, but I think they're saving Cole to move into a heel run for the title against Black, maybe.
That could definitely be. So I'm picking EC3, you're picking Velveteen Dream. Let's move on. Since you brought it up, we'll just move to that match. The NXT Championship. Andrade Cien Almas, your champion, versus Aleister Black. Again, Gargano and Almas had an absolute 5-star match. If it had been in the Tokyo Dome, it would have been a 10-star match. Believe it or not, I got this inside information from Meltzer himself, and he specifically said, had that taken place in the Tokyo Dome, man, 10 stars all night long. That being said, I think it's time for Almas to move up to the main roster. I think that happens Monday or Tuesday. And I think that Aleister Black is the new face of NXT, and I have a feeling, even though I think they want him on the main roster, I think Aleister Black, and I'm just spitballing here, I think he's going to be that Finn Balor, the next Finn Balor of NXT. He's going to be the face of NXT for at least a year following this win.
I literally have wrote right here in my notes, make sure to talk about Black could be new Finn Balor.
No, you don't.
Yes.
That is
this
fantastic.
guy's exactly what they're looking for, man. He's the edgy face.
Yep.
NXT's not like the main roster where you can be all shucks and still get that damn push. Like in NXT, you got to be like a little bit of an edgy badass, And he's kind of like that edgy face. Finn Balor was super over in NXT. Super over is the edgy face. So I think, this guy's a vampire. I just found out this week this dude's thing is a vampire.
Like a shoot vampire, like Gangrel?
No, not a shoot vampire, like a work vampire. His gimmick is like a vampire, but it's just mad low key. It's just another thing. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm a vampire.
Is that why he comes up in that position? Because I just thought he was a witch or something.
It's by the way, I'm a vampire. But I'm not super fucking vampire douchey about it,
we can't do the bloodbath anymore, so I guess it makes sense.
Well, no, and here's the thing. I like when it's just oh yeah, I'm a vampire, by the way. I wish there was more of that in modern media. More vampire things where it's oh, by the way, I'm a vampire too. Like, I'm just like a dude. I'm me doing this podcast, but like now we have to record it at night because I got bit by a vampire last week and now I'm a vampire. It just works out for me that I work the night shift at my job. So it's just like me and I just happen to be a vampire. I like that concept.
It works for me, man.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. So hey,
yeah,
you learn something.
I just found that out. I was like, that's brilliant. By the way, I'm a pro wrestler. I'm a tattoo advocate. And by the way, I'm a vampire. It's not a thing. It's not who I am. But like, you know, it's part of me. I like that.
So when he gets tattoos, does he then like lick his own wounds?
Mike, don't be gross.
I'm just saying he's a vampire, man.
Dude, leave the gross shit to me, man. You say weird stuff like that about licking own wounds and shit, man. Like, you go to weird places with it. Let me handle the weird.
You do handle the weird
I know
very
where to keep it appropriate. Like, there's a line, Mike, and that line is autoerotic asphyxiation. That's where you stop at. You don't cross it into licking own wounds.
I would think the licking wounds would be before that, but anyway.
You think, but the visual's way more disgusting.
I think we both picked black, right? So
bet on black.
We're speaking of licking wounds, and someone who's been licking their wounds up until that 5-star match was one Johnny Gargano, eating loss after being turned on by his partner Tommaso Ciampa. And then him disappearing, him being Tommaso, from an injury, coming back, setting this angle up after the last takeover at the Rumble. Unsanctioned match between the two of them, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, former tag team partners, former tag team champions. I am probably the most pumped about this match. The build-up online has been good. The build-up on NXT has been good. Tommaso Ciampa is a heel to the 10th degree. He is probably volleying for best heel in the company right now. And good for him, man. I don't even know. I don't know what their plans are with either of these guys. And I feel like Ciampa should win. But I think Gargano's going to win.
Before I talk about this match, I want to say a sentence to you. And I'm going to say it two different ways. Just to show the way that, like, inflection can make things different. Before he was turned on by his partner. Okay? Now I'm going to say it this way. Before he was turned on by his partner. So this might be the best match of the weekend, right?
Yeah,
this
very
is
well.
Probably going to be.
And I'm talking
Kenny Omega,
the whole
Cody
weekend.
Rhodes,
Yes,
the whole weekend.
Yes.
This
the
is
entire weekend.
The entire weekend. Looking at you, Ring of Honor. Yeah. This is what I truly believe. It's going to not only be the match of the night, it's going to be the WWE match of the weekend, it's going to be the all-around wrestling match of the weekend. You really want to see Ciampa win? How great would it be just for him to just come in and just kick the shit out of Gargano? And it's like, well, you know, kids, sometimes you don't win.
It like I said, it depends on where the story goes. I feel like they've built him, and he has built himself into such a heel that I almost hate to see him lose, yet at the same time, if Gargano wins, that place is going to go absolutely apeshit, which would be awesome to see too. So I'm very torn.
You just want the story to be, well, kids, sometimes the bad guy is just better than you.
But that's the truth, though. Sometimes the bad guy is just better, and sometimes the bad guy does shit to get an unfair advantage and still get the win, and that's just the way shit goes. And then as the babyface, sometimes you got to go to that next level,
sometimes
and maybe
the bad
you got
guy
to cheat.
Beat you, and you have to go to 205 Live.
Sometimes that is also what happens. And for Johnny Gargano's sake, I hope that isn't.
Face pop. I think the place is going to erupt if Gargano wins, and I want to see that. Although I'm open to Ciampa winning. Dude's an amazing heel. Like you said, he's maybe the best heel in the company right now. He's going to like a throwback to his like indie days. It's almost like the Psycho Killer gimmick he used.
Right, yes.
It's a lot like it. So... I'm excited for this match. I honestly, it's one of those matches where it's like I don't even care who wins.
I was just gonna say,
way.
you know who wins, Mike? We do. We
Us.
the fans, we win. We fucking win.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna have this written down to ask you, but I think we just both gave our answer. The match that's gonna steal the show.
Steal the weekend. Doesn't even matter who wins.
Exactly, and I'm the same way. I don't care who wins. Yep. Because the fans.
Somebody just
not on this show.
You can't be wrong.
Not on this show.
Hey, dude, it's Mania. Get the hell out of here. Oh, come on, please.
Listen, Radiant, the Luminant one.
What?
Listen, I know you did the Mania show last year, but we were in a whole different place then. So your time is up.
Whatever. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
You know we're going to be using the word prediction a lot, so.
Yeah,
he
may
be
happen.
back.
It very well may happen. Well, okay, that pretty much wraps up what's probably going to be a fantastic NXT. Before we take a break, Mike, let's roll into WrestleMania 34 and roll into the pre-show. Now, I just need to say this. I need to get it off my testicles, wallet, and watch. I'm so excited I can't even talk. What I need to say is, it doesn't matter that it's a pre-show match, guys. Calm down. The pre-show is just the start of WrestleMania.
For real,
okay?
It's still the show.
I understand, like, if the people who complain about what was placed on the pre-show complain because they cared about these guys and girls not getting the same payout because they're not on the DVD, then I would get behind their argument, but that's not why they do it. No one's complaining about these guys and girls' paychecks, so shut the hell up. The pre-show starts at 5. That's WrestleMania. Get over it. So,
yeah, you know what else doesn't matter?
What's that?
What your name is.
We covered that last week. And actually, before we move on, another thing that I do...
Happy Rusev Day.
I have to rant. Happy Rusev Day. I have to rant because one of the complaints that I've seen online is, how dare they put the Cruiserweight Championship on the pre-show? And god damn it, I guarantee you the people that are saying that don't even watch 205 Live, and that's what pisses me off. Because 205 Live, I haven't got caught up on it yet, but from the few that I've seen since Triple H took over, from what I've heard from people that do watch it and watch it on a regular basis, it has gotten a shit ton better. And that is awesome. I would watch it if I had damn time, but I don't. That being said, I don't feel like if you were going to say the pre-show is a step down, I don't feel like at this point in time, when you're recovering from this whole Enzo mess, that this is the time to put the cruiserweights on the main card. It's just not. So let it build. Let's see where we get a champion crown. Let's see where this division goes. And maybe next year, if you're still going to cry about a pre-show setup and pre-show matches, maybe next year we fight for the cruiserweights to be on the main show. But right now, it's just not the time. So anyway, ran over pre-show matches. Men and women's battle royals, both in the pre-show, which I find very interesting, but I'm totally good with that because I think that is where those battle royals should be. I think if you put them in the main card, you slow the action down way too much.
I think it's a perfect thing to look forward to every year on a pre-show
absolutely.
too. Oh man, okay, we know we got the battle royals this year. All right, that's
absolutely.
Sweet. As for the cruiserweights, can I add in real fast on this?
Yeah, sure.
This is the perfect spot for the cruiserweights. They have zero expectations, and they have the chance to go out there and blow the crowd away and open the show with a very hot match.
Exactly. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Okay, here's the gold standard of cruiserweights, WCW.
Yes.
You don't think if WCW had a 7-hour card for Starrcade that the cruiserweight belt wouldn't have been on the pre-show for it?
Of course it would have been.
Of course it would have been. And that was the greatest cruiserweight division of all time. Ever in America.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. So, I guess it's gonna... Okay, Cruiserweight Championship. I got Mustafa Ali. Who do you got?
I would like to see Mustafa Ali, but realistically I think it's Oh, why can I not think of his name right now? It's the other
Cedric.
guy.
Cedric.
Yes.
I mean, it was pretty much set up. This is his match to lose, but I think I really just got a feeling that Ali's he's been getting a lot of good attention online from fans, and I think it's going to shift it, and I think they're going to put it on him. And either way, both of these guys, I think, will carry it and carry it well.
I've liked Ali since the Cruiserweight tournament.
Cruiserweight Classic, yep.
The Cruiserweight Classic. I watched his first match in that, and I really enjoyed it. I believe he was on the first episode, wasn't he?
That's way too long. You're asking me to remember.
I don't know. He was like one of the first people I remember seeing on it. He really caught my eye with his in-ring work, and I kept up with him throughout that. So I was happy when he made it to 205 Live. I'd like to see him win this. I think he's one of the more underrated wrestlers on the roster. I still think Tony Nese should be the face of this division. They've got a beast of a wrestler in that guy. He can do anything. But, hey, man, this is another guy I really like from that division.
Well, and other guys that, again, like I said, I don't watch, but I hear a lot of chatter. Buddy Murphy from NXT has been doing 205 work, and I guess really, really impressing a lot of people. This really could be a rebirth of 205. I hope that it is. I mean, I don't watch it, and even if it's the most greatest thing on earth, I don't know that I would have time to dedicate to it, but I want it to be successful because I want these guys to get paid well. I want the company to do well, and I mean, you'd be crazy to be a fan and want it to fail.
I might watch an episode of it tonight.
There you go. Prep, a little bit of prep, right?
I bet I don't, though.
Well, So, we've got that. You're taking Cedric then?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking Ali, so we're disagreeing on that. I think it's really hard to say who's going to win these men and women's battle royal because, let's be honest, there's people that are going to be in them that we don't even know who they are. Could someone come in from NXT and win? Certainly. I think the two people in the women's that I'm going to say are not going to win are going to be Sasha and Bayley because I think they're going to probably one cost the other, or maybe they both get tossed out while they're fighting with each other, but this is going to further their storyline, so I would assume neither one of them win, and I look for either an NXT, call-up to win this thing, or possibly maybe someone like Becky Lynch who's just like, you know what, I'm sick of sitting in the shadows, I'm taking this son of a bitch.
Ruby Riott.
I was actually just setting you up to do a Becky Lynch, hey, this looks like my lady parts impression.
I'm going to win this trophy right here, I am. Look like my lady parts. Look like right up there on that poster that the Vag Doctor has, he does, right up on his wall.
Oh, dear God. I love that so much. So you're going Ruby. I'm going to go Becky. I'll just take Becky. Men's, same deal. I don't know. There's so many wild cards. I have a weird feeling that Gronkowski's going to be in this damn thing. I don't even know why, but I do. I mean, I know why. It's been talked about that he's been in contact with WWE. He has the history from last year. I know who's not going to win it, and that's Jinder, because he's actually in a title match. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I think if an NXT woman doesn't win the women's one, then I think an NXT man will win the men's. Who that will be, I don't know. Let's see who's in the North American. It'll be one of those guys. It won't be Cole. It won't be EC3 if EC3 wins. So maybe Velveteen Dream. I don't think that'll push him up to the roster, but maybe he makes an appearance and maybe he wins the damn thing. Get a little rub. I don't know.
Maybe Almost comes in and picks up the win after losing the title. It's a good.
That's also a very valid thing to throw in there.
But I think is Dolph Ziggler in this?
I mean, yeah, I would assume he is.
Yeah, and Dolph Ziggler should win. That's who I'm going with.
You know what? I'm just gonna piggyback on you. I like that, Dolph Ziggler.
That's like I was sitting thinking about it today. I was taking my notes down for the show. Yeah, I was taking my notes down for the show, and I was thinking about it, and I was like. Ruby Riott, I immediately came to. I was like, okay, the Royal Rumbles. The Battle Royals. I was like, Ruby Riott right away. And that was like the men's. And I was like, who is in this? And I was like, Dolph Ziggler's probably in this. Yeah, I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler. Other options, Baron Corbin had the same kind of moment. I was like, Baron Corbin in this? I go with Baron Corbin. And I was like, oh, what about Dolph Ziggler? So, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin's already won it. He's not winning it again.
It's definitely a fair guess. And I like it. I'm going to piggyback on it. Dolph Ziggler.
Makes as much sense as anything, doesn't it? Dolph Ziggler.
It sure does.
Sure, that sounds
It sure
great.
does. Wow. We're like 30 minutes in and we still have a lot of stuff to talk about. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back and we're going to try to get into the main card here and break it down. We're going to tie it up in a pretty little bow and give it to you guys as a beautiful gift. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and it's time for the main attraction, the main event, WrestleMania. We're past the pre-show. We're into the main card. I don't know the order of this stuff. I don't know how it's going to go. I have ideas. We talked about it last week. I really legit think there's like 4 matches that could, maybe 5 matches that all have a shot to end this. But we're just going to go run down. I kind of have these... I had these written down for us to basically give quick predictions and, kind of our thoughts on the match, and we'll just move on. And if there's something to expand on, we will expand on it. Sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So we got the Raw Tag Team titles. We have been running a poll on our page all week long. We did, a shooter, I put up a little bracket and wanted to see what fans thought. Who should be Braun's partner? And I picked, I did 2 sides of, 16 people, Mike? I don't even remember at this point.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. You picked bad people.
I didn't pick all bad people. You're mad because I picked CM Punk, and I'm also mad at myself.
Because it's not realistic.
It's not, but it was...
And he won out of bullshit smarkery.
He did, but... Here it is, Mike. I'm going to be your savior right now. The poll has ended, and I am so happy to announce that even though CM Punk made it to the finals and beat people that he should not have beat, that we all walk with Elias. And according to the Near Fall Nation, Elias is the pick to be Braun Strowman's mystery partner.
Wrestling Jesus does it again.
And I'm totally good with that, man. Totally good with that.
Yes. Again, Jesus is like, Mike, I've told you like 100 times now. You don't have to call me Wrestling Jesus. I'm just the same Jesus for everything.
That's very true. So, in our world and in our minds, let's pick his partner. Who do you legit think it is? Because I thought for a long time it was going to be Elias. I no longer think that.
This was another one that I just came up with today. I was sitting and I was thinking, I was like, man, who is this? Because I really don't know. I really have had no clue. So today I was like, well, gotta pick someone, for radio. And I was like, well, who's it gonna be? I was like, you know what? Neville.
I want it. I have 2 people that I have 3 people Neville. That I want it to be. I am so, for the fact that I just want him back on my TV, I want it to be Neville. For the fact that I think the odd duo that they could be, the fact that Neville can really go, and the fact that they are so, they're polar opposites, man. Like, there's no other way to describe them. I think that would be a fantastic, fun team to watch.
It would be an insanely dominant tag team in every conceivable way.
It would get Neville off of the Cruiserweight show. It would give him another title because they would win. There's no way it would be Neville and they wouldn't win. They would win those belts, and they would be a dominant tag team. And let's be honest, when it came to it, and we need Braun to drop those titles, and you don't want Braun to lose, you can have Neville eat the pin, and then you can have Braun beat the living daylights out of him. And, I mean, I don't think it matters what you do with Braun, and people are going to cheer him. So you just go that route, and now you've got Braun on his hunt for his Universal WWE, wherever we all end up with this shit.
Brilliant.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But here's my other pick. If we're not going for serious, and you're gonna hate me so much when I say this, James Ellsworth.
I knew you were gonna say it.
James flippin' Ellsworth.
No!
Because what better man than the one with two fists and has a fighting chance to come out for Braun to just be so adamant to prove that he doesn't need a partner, that he is partnered with the guy who can't really beat anybody on the main roster.
Man, I hate how much perfect sense this makes.
The guy that is famous because of jobbing to Braun Strowman, because of getting squashed by Braun Strowman. It's almost poetic.
It's probably who it is.
It could be, but my heart wants Neville for selfish, I want him back on the roster reasons. So we will see. But who wins this, man? Who takes us home?
Braun and question mark.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's my pick. I think that the Bar... See, I don't know how Sheamus is still wrestling, because I've heard so much about he's got spinal stenosis, but somehow he's still wrestling. I have a feeling they're just trying to get through WrestleMania, and obviously he's not nearly as in bad shape as some people like Edge, but I have a feeling he's going to start transitioning out. The Bar's probably done after this.
Yeah, let's get Cesaro over to SmackDown.
Yeah, let's start a feud with them, let him have a blow-off and put Cesaro on SmackDown, and let's get him in that title hunt, man. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine him and Nakamura?
I don't want to think about it because I want it to happen, and I don't want to be disappointed if it does not. Let's roll into the other tag team championship, the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship, the Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers. I had heard that this was going to be a TLC match, but I don't believe that has been announced as of yet. So maybe that's not happening, or is this something that kind of becomes a thing they need to do because of something that happens on the kickoff or some crazy shit like that?
I hope it's not a TLC match. I have a hard time watching these sometimes.
Because of the risks the guys take?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Selfishly, though, I feel like these three teams could put on one hell of a TLC match.
Yeah, I'm sure they could. I'm sure I would enjoy the match. I don't know. To me, I guess this is the most predictable match on the card for me.
You going with Bludgeon Brothers?
Yeah, I think it seems pretty obvious what's going to happen here. And
I think so too, unless we're cementing the Usos.
Unless we are doing that. I don't know. I kind of just want to get through this match as quickly as possible. Is that weird? I like everyone involved, but this is going to be one of those matches. You ever go to a concert sometimes and it'll be like an all-day event, there'll be like 12 bands playing, and about the 5th band that plays is a band that you like, but you're like, man, I just want to hear 2 songs from these guys and then on to the next band.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with this match.
It's a big card, but I do... TLC, no TLC, ladders, chairs, tables, nothing, just straight up triple threat.
Triple threat. We're gonna hear the 2 songs we want to hear and on to the next one.
This is gonna deliver. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna time out. I have a feeling that Braun's match is gonna be shorter than this one. It only makes sense. So I do, and I'm really struggling, man. I don't know. Are we crowning the Bludgeon Brothers, or are we cementing the Usos? Because the Usos may very well be the best tag. They are the best tag team in WWE. They may be known as the greatest tag team of all time if things keep going this way for them and their career. And I'll argue anyone that says differently. They're fantastic. I love what they do in the ring. I hate to pick against them, but I just don't see the Bludgeon Brothers losing. However, I also don't see both tag titles changing.
I just think the story they're telling is the Bludgeon Brothers. They're trying to build this wrecking ball team.
For the sake of radio,
and
I'm picking the Usos.
Yeah, okay. Okay, right on.
Go ahead. You think.
I just
interrupted.
think that I just think the story of Battalion is this wrecking ball tag team. And I think the story actually that we're telling is the Usos or the New Day having to overcome this team in like a month or two.
And that very well may be. The only reason I'm not afraid to pick the Usos over the Bludgeon Brothers is because WWE is not publicly saying how the Bludgeon Brothers have never lost. They're not, and maybe that's because we all know who they are. We all know that they've lost before. So, like, just because they have new outfits and hammers doesn't mean they're completely different people,
man.
Because they're still calling them by their names. They're still Harper and Rowan. So, I don't think it's out of the question for the Usos to win. And I just think that with all the talk about them not being on a Mania card, being on the main card, this, and that, and the other, I think we're giving the nods to the Usos, man. And then maybe even Tuesday night, it's a whole different story, buddy.
Agree to disagree.
All right, well, let's talk about
those guys with their big foam hammers are going to come out and destroy everyone.
Well, we saw it live and it was pretty nasty.
It's pretty sweet live, man.
It really was. It really was.
Can't believe that dude got up and left next to me to go get a beer. Missed the whole thing.
He left and he missed Xavier Woods getting killed.
I'll never forget that. Xavier Woods got killed? When did Xavier Woods get killed? Like literally seconds after you got up, bro.
Oh, that's a shame. So we'll move into the U.S. title match. Now a four-way dance. We already kind of talked about this last week, but I real quick, I think this match will be very good. It'll be very entertaining. I think there's ways it can go. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just listen to last week's episode. It's a good reason for me to tell you to go download it if you haven't done that. But
you should just be listening to it anyway.
You should be anyway, right?
So awesome.
Final pick for this match. Who do you have?
Bobby Roode.
I'm going to go with... Oh, man. This is tougher than I thought. I'm going to actually go...
Don't pull back from it now, gender supporter.
That is what I said last week, that I think... You know what? Fine, I'm going to stick with that. Jinder Mahal is going to win this match.
You can't pick everyone to win here, right said Ed.
Sorry, my radiant,
yes,
my radiant side was coming out. Okay, so let's talk about this real.
You're radiating right now.
Actually, that could be a T-shirt if we sold T-shirts. Get it?
Zing! Because he ripped people off on T-shirts, guys. Let it be known, he's a total piece of shit.
Totally. It's in the mail. I want to touch on this because we're in this match, and I'm sure that you heard the...
We are physically in this match. We've been added to it. I'm going to take the pinfall.
I think that's fair. One source, I believe it was Mike Johnson from... is that PW Insider, I believe? He only had one source on this, but he was very firm and believed this one source that Rusev had asked for his release, and that is the reason he was added to this match. And I call 100% BS on this.
Do you?
Here, and let me throw this out for you.
Feed me, Mike. Feed me.
First of all, and
but
I'm not
want
trying
you
to
play Superman with the spoon.
I'm not gonna discredit Mike Johnson. I know that guy gets some stuff. I know some of these dirt sheets come up with some answers every now and again. But just like our boy Meltzer, you throw 1,000 things at the wall, something's going to stick. But here's the thing. There's been a rumor that Rusev has asked for his release for like almost a year. Almost a year. So that's not a hard thing to just say, well, that's obviously why he was added to this match, because he just was not happy and asked for his release. But here's where I call bullshit, okay? This guy has been getting the best chance of anyone on SmackDown besides Daniel Bryan. Louder chance than AJ Styles. Louder chance than Nakamura. He's a merch-selling machine. He must hate those merch checks a bunch, man. He must hate getting paid for Rusev Day hoodies, shirts, calendars, mugs. He must hate getting a check for Total Divas. He must fucking hate money, man.
Have you seen his house? He's got a movie theater in the basement of his house with, like, nerd, like, Marvel and G.I. Joe posters and stuff. Like, I'm sure he hates living in his gigantic mansion with his, like, hottest woman on either roster wife. Like, yeah,
yes.
I bet he hates it so
yes.
much.
And let's also bring that into the picture.
He's so probably mad they made him start wrestling in boots.
Right.
Could you imagine if him, like, going off about things? Like, you never move me past upper mid-card. You stole me a U.S. title, and I never forget you make me wrestle in boots, you sons of bitches.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's holding on to.
And let's paint the picture of, if he leaves, there's a solid chance that Lana would leave as well. And let's be realistic, guys. I'm not trying to be insulting to the woman. I think she is not giving a fair shake at her in-ring time. But she's not going to be able to go with Rusev to an independent, a Ring of Honor, a New Japan, and do what she's getting to do in here. Not on the in-ring part of it. It's not going to happen.
Brandy Rhodes had to learn how to wrestle.
Exactly. So this isn't. Look, the only reason I'm even harping on this is because I don't think he's correct in saying this. And maybe he is. I don't know. But it's the fans who are like, good, he should leave. Yeah, I know, because he must hate money. And you must hate money because you're telling him to leave. And I'm sure that every wrestler can just up and pull Cody Rhodes. Every single one of them. It just doesn't happen, guys.
I don't have anything to add. You've said it all so well.
I try.
So perfectly, you've encapsulated not only your thoughts, but mine. And you've spoken so well for us here at the Nearfall Network that I have nothing left to add to this. It's because
right here. It's because we have the same name. So moving into the Raw mid-card title, or the Workers title, as we kind of all refer to it, the Intercontinental Championship match. This might be the match that I'm low-key the most excited about. Our champion, The Miz, versus Balor versus Rollins. I think that this is Miz's title to hold on to, at least for another month or so. I don't think he's going to do it cleanly. I don't think it's going to be a, coming out party for how great the Miz is and he just beat two of the best guys on the roster. It's going to be a heel win. It's going to continue with these three in one way, shape, or form, and I think that's good because it gives them all something to do. Maybe this leads to a Balor heel turn, pardon me. Rollins can't turn heel. Not yet. It's too soon. Who you got?
So what? Doesn't Miz become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time? Something like 4 days after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know about the timeline, but it's after Mania. I know that.
It's pretty close to after Mania. So if it's 2 weeks after Mania, he's gonna lose that belt 3 weeks after Mania.
Yep, sir.
I know it's so close that it's like preposterous to take it off of him at this point.
It's the same thing with Nikki Bella. Everyone was like, well, they're gonna, people wanted to try to say they're gonna take it off of her so she doesn't break that record. You don't do that to someone who's given that much time to the company. You look at The Miz, and no offense to Nikki Bella, but The Miz has done even more for the company.
Oh, no offense to Nikki Bella.
Well, she did start the whole Total Divas and all that jazz, but you get what I'm saying. The Miz has become one of the top guys on this roster. If you're gonna chant "you deserve it" for anything, I think the Miz deserves to become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion at this point in his career.
If they're not gonna put a belt on him, then he deserves this. And I mean like a big boy belt. You know
I'm
what
with
I mean?
you. I'm with you. So your pick is the Miz as well?
Yeah, my pick was the Miz as well. Although, any guy in this match can win it, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And we're cool with it, no matter what.
I'm also 98% sure we get Rock and Roll Balor, and this is the reason the Demon comes out later.
Okay, so you don't think Demon?
They haven't talked about it. But also, if it's the Demon, he's winning, right?
If it's the Demon, he's winning. Okay, that's a caveat to this, right? That's the caveat. Like, if the Demon comes out, he's winning.
I would assume.
So, but like, do we need to talk about the Demon every time? Can't the Demon just show up?
I guess.
We didn't have to talk about the Demon in NXT. It was just like, oh shit, Takeover's here. Oh snap, it's the Demon. He wasn't even really called the Demon. It was just like, it's going to be a cool entrance from Finn Balor because it's a big show.
It's a very valid point, but
can't we just do that?
That is not how he's presented on the main roster.
I know, isn't that so dumb? Isn't it the dumb?
A little bit, but I don't know. I don't. If he's the Demon, I want him to win. It's not that the Demon hasn't lost. That's just what I want. So even though I selfishly want a WrestleMania entrance for the Demon, at the same time, if he's not going to win, I almost don't want that. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But I think it's the Miz, and I think this sets up a storyline for all three of these guys going forward. And I'm totally good with that because I think all of those matches will be fantastic.
Agreed.
Okay. So we're going to take a break, but before we take a break, we got two more matches to talk about. The Raw Women's Championship. Bliss versus Nia. We've got the whole, I guess, body shaming, fat shaming angle, mean girl angle, which I think is fantastic. I think it's a good way to go. That being said, there's been a lot of talk about people saying that it's good, it's defendable, assuming Nia wins and beats the bully. And I'm gonna throw this out, Mike. I think Bliss retains.
Do you really?
I didn't, but I do now. I thought for sure. Let me explain my reasoning. I see a lot of title belts changing, but I also know that they don't like to just change every single one. And I think the SmackDown Women's is changing, and we'll get into that. So I don't see the Raw Women's changing too. I think the SmackDown is the more likely one to change for multiple reasons. That being said, I don't see both women's belts changing on the same night. I think Bliss retains. I think we continue this. I don't think there's been quite enough build. I think she retains by the skin of her teeth or with help from somebody else that we don't know about, or just, I think there's more to this. I think there's more coming. Maybe this was all a fake setup and maybe we get like a finger poke of doom. Who knows? How crazy would that be? But I think Bliss keeps his title.
Homer. I think Nia. I think Nia wins. I still think Nia wins.
You know I can't pick against my girl, man.
You have a wife.
She's okay with it. She gets it.
Right? That's your celebrity. That's your celebrity freebie.
She's on my top five. Anyway, so don't get me wrong, I totally get why you picked Nia, because up until literally like a week ago, I was with you. But thinking about the card, I've changed my mind. So let's move in.
Win.
Yeah, that is true. Now let's move into the other women's title match. And again, no offense to my lovely Bliss, but this is the one that I actually care about more because I think it will be a better match. SmackDown's women's title Flair versus Asuka. The title versus the streak. Who do you got, Mike?
I still have Asuka, but I'm less certain of it than I was like a week or two ago. I could see the argument there for Charlotte.
Do you think
it might be better just to do it now?
Before I do what now? To put the title on Asuka or to end the streak?
End the streak.
That's what I was going to say. I was just going to ask you, do you think this streak is hurting Asuka?
I don't think it's hurting her, but I think
let me rephrase that. I don't even mean hurting Asuka. Do you think this streak is hurting the roster? It's almost like Brock Lesnar being the Universal Championship and not being allowed to lose until Roman Reigns takes it off of him. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you have a streak and you've never lost and now you're the champion and you still have that damn streak, and then you kind of put the fact that maybe we're going to do Asuka Rousey next year, doesn't that just kind of put us in the same situation we were on Raw? On Raw?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's almost exactly the same type of scenario.
So,
I guess the issue is that so far Asuka, I mean, she's beat some big names, but she mostly has gone through Dana Brooks of the world. This is a lot like Goldberg's streak. But she's also gone through Nia.
And Banks and Bayley, and she's beaten Bliss.
All of them. She beat
Bliss in a non-title match, so she's literally beat the entire Raw roster.
Right, this is like Brock last summer going through like Braun and Joe and Rollins.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to pick Asuka too, because let's be honest, this is a smart pick. That being said, can I paint a picture for you, Mike? Before we take a break, I'm going to paint a happy little bush for you, okay? I've heard... Hey, who doesn't? I've heard this scenario...
Gwen Stefani.
Wow. Will you pee on me? I've heard this scenario tossed out of Carmella cashing in and being the one to break Asuka's streak, but nobody that I've heard talk about this has looked at it the way that I'm looking at it. And here's what, if this was to happen, and boy would this be some fucking nuclear heat, man. Let's repeat Seth Rollins cash in. I want, if she's going to cash in, I want Flair to be ready to beat Asuka. Beating her, like, so close to beating Asuka. So close. Near falls. We're in the figure 8. She's just about to tap. And Carmella comes down, drops the briefcase on Charlotte's head, tosses it to the referee, pins Charlotte, and breaks Asuka's streak by pinning Charlotte Flair.
That's a great way to do it. That'd be amazing. I'd mark out.
Asuka doesn't take the pin.
You just said it, but...
Well, I ruined it if it happens. But Asuka still doesn't take a pin, but technically her streak is now over. So you've actually eliminated that pressure without discrediting Asuka. Figure that one out. But it worked. And now you still have Asuka chasing a title. Now, could she house and totally destroy Carmella? Absolutely. But you've made the women's Money in the Bank mean something. Something that you've gotten critiqued for destroying by having Ellsworth get the briefcase. And you've also protected Asuka. And technically you protected Charlotte, all in doing multiple things the right way. I think it's brilliant, and it's not just because I thought of it.
If I was Corey Graves, I'd be like, you didn't think of that idea, Cole. Where'd you steal that from?
It was all in my head, I promise. We're going to take a quick break, and we have the real meat to get into. Probably a lot of stuff, but we're trying to condense this down for you guys. It's going to be a long drive-by. We're working on it. We're coming to the end. It's Wrestlemania, baby. We'll be right back. All right, Mike. here we are. Let's just go right into it. WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. The dream match. The rematch from Wrestle Kingdom. I'll let you talk about that for a minute. You're the New Japan fan. You probably watched that in real time where I saw replays on YouTube for free. So I don't feel like I have the right to even discuss this. But this match already took place, and now it's taking place again on the bigger stage.
Yes. The even bigger stage. There was a pretty big stage before, but this is an even bigger stage. This is the biggest stage.
Which is what's awesome about it. That is what's awesome about it. These two headline Wrestle Kingdom. What was it? 11 or 10? Help me out here.
What do we have this year?
We just had 12, didn't we?
What one did we just do this year?
It was 12, right?
Yeah.
It was 12.
It was 12.
Come on, you're the New Japan guy. I'm pulling at straws here, man.
No,
It all runs together. Wrestling timelines
I
are
don't
impossible.
remember WrestleMania numbers either. Like if you were like WrestleMania 19, I'd be like, huh?
Yeah, I know exactly. Unless you just listen to Pritchard's show, and then you're like, oh wait, we just talked about that.
Yeah.
So we get the dream match. Nakamura won in Japan, correct?
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's time for AJ to take this on his turf. Man, who you got, Mike? I want to know your pick before I give you mine.
I think Nakamura goes over again.
So we get a 0-2 for AJ, huh?
Yeah, because it's not really 0-2. He's 0-1.
Fair. That's fair because we don't really actually talk about stuff that happens outside of WWE.
That match didn't happen. It's 0-1.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so, man, can I be honest with you, man? This WrestleMania is hard to predict.
I hope you're honest with me.
I'm always honest with you.
Yeah.
This card is hard. This card is hard to predict, man. There's been times where we've sat here and, through our MVP program on the Nearfall Network, we've gone through with the fans and we've picked stuff. And I can usually roll through and be pretty accurate. I'm not 100%. Sometimes they throw us a loop like Dolph Ziggler winning the U.S. title. But hey, this one's hard to pick. This whole card is hard to pick. I think... See, my heart wants to say Nakamura, but my head says AJ, man.
Why?
Because I think Vince loves AJ now. And I don't know that he's sold on Nakamura. That being said, see, if we knew the match order, I think if we knew this was closing the show, I'd say Nakamura.
I heard the other day that this was closing the show.
Did you?
I read online yesterday somewhere that it's going to go Roman, Charlotte, AJ. Not like winners, I'm just saying match.
No, I gotcha. I'm good with that. Man. I'm going to stick with you, and I'm going to say Nakamura. I think this sets up.
It's the best way to end the show.
It especially, if this ends the show, it's got to be Nakamura. I know
last week I said what should end the show, and I still think that should probably end the show, but this will be the better moment to end the show on.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm going to go with Nakamura as well, and we'll move into the other championship, the Universal Championship. We both picked this to end the show last week. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Man, could you imagine if Brock wins?
No.
Could you imagine
I can't
if
really
Brock
imagine.
wins? Like, I just want you to think about that, man. But listen, seriously. How many internet marks would just have their blood all over their keyboards because their heads just exploded? think about it.
I don't know if more people would be happy or upset.
This is what I mean. You've been behind your damn keyboard for a year complaining about a part-time champion who's now going to be replaced with with Roman Reigns, who you don't even like because he can't wrestle, and every single match he has is absolute dumpster fire. Yet you're like clinging on to the fact that, well, at least that damn belt will be on TV every week, and then Brock Lesnar wins.
And part-time champion still.
I almost want that to happen just to see what the reaction would be, but I'm going to be smart here. It's Roman all the way.
It'd be an amazing FU.
It really would be, and I think here's where I call this stuff into question, man. Like, Dana White's out here saying that Brock's definitely coming back. We got Heyman talking about doing things outside of WWE, making the statement that Brock is going to leave if he doesn't win, and also him then giving the spoiler alert, Brock's going to retain the title. I don't think Paul Heyman's ever given a spoiler alert and not been truthful. Of course, there's a first time for everything, and it only makes sense that this is the one that happens on. So I'm still sticking with Reigns. I'm just saying, I'm not 100% like I was before.
I'm still 100%.
You're strong in your convictions, Mike, and that's why I like you.
I am. I'm damn strong, sir. Damn strong. And I'll thank you to remember that.
You keep up the good work.
Okay. Thank you to remember that, sir.
Let's keep moving, man. We got a lot of stuff still. The return of Daniel Bryan to the ring, teaming with Shane McMahon against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. First question I ask you, is Shane really going to wrestle?
Sure seems like it.
This dude, he really is a fucking zombie, isn't he, man? I know you started that kind of as a joke on your SmackDown show. It was kind of an inside thing that kind of snowballed into something. And actually Papa Shango raised him from the dead and this, that, and but I mean, he's a
major storyline over the summer. What are you talking about? Made this up.
He actually is a zombie, man. Kevin Owens could literally yell at him like he did. You died in a helicopter crash, and now you've had your intestines ripped out, and you're a zombie.
He is. He's a zombie.
It's amazing.
The man returns from the dead.
Do you think there's a chance, something I've been kicking around in my head, that Shane really can't wrestle, and they're just saying this so that we can have an angle where he's attacked backstage by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and then Daniel Bryan's going to go at it alone, only to have Samoa Joe come out and save him?
A Kurt angle. Yeah, we'll have. I could see that as an angle. You think Joe?
Yeah.
You think Joe?
I think Joe, because of the Ring of Honor connection between all four of these guys.
Joe's been back wrestling house shows for a while. Wow. Don't you?
Wouldn't that would be if that was an angle they're taking? That's who it's got to be, right?
That'd be fucking sweet, just to have those four Ring of Honor guys going at it.
Only to have Joe kick the crap out of Daniel Bryan to get the win for Kevin and Sami.
Oh wow, it'd be super cool just to see those four guys in the ring.
It sure would. Now, we know the stipulation. If Daniel Bryan and Shane win, KO and Sami are fired from SmackDown. I got to go with KO and Sami on this, even though I think it would be insane for Daniel Bryan not to win his match back, but he's not going to eat the pin. It's going to be Shane, unless the scenario I threw out there happens, and then he will eat the pin, but it'll be under conspicuous reasons, and it'll just set up further storylines. Who you got?
I think Daniel Bryan beats Sami Zayn with a yes lock.
Okay.
And we'll figure the rest out on Tuesday.
We can always put them on Raw, or they could literally.
You just asked me to predict what happened at WrestleMania.
I know. Listen, how great would it be to see El Generico pop back up?
See, that'd be something cool they could do. Kevin Steen.
They really could.
I'm Kevin Steen.
Yeah, it would be interesting. And since they've brought both of those Twitter handles back, maybe that's the way they're going. I like it. I don't know. I'm gonna pick Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because the smart thing is when there's a career on the line, they never lose. So, it is what it is. The mixed tag match, man. Ronda freaking Rousey. Rowdy Ronda Rousey teaming with Kurt Angle take on Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Man, I'm excited to see this. I don't think that Ronda's going to light the world on fire in her first match, especially against the likes of Stephanie. That being said, she's got Hunter and Angle in there with her. And Steph knows what she's doing. I just don't think she's like, she's no Sasha Banks or Charlotte or any of those in the ring. Ronda's obviously got to win this, right?
Oh, yeah, 100% Ronda has to win this.
Is there a scenario where we see Stephanie in an armbar and Triple H in an ankle lock, and that's how the match ends?
I think there's a scenario where the match ends with Triple H in an armbar.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Could see them going so far as to have Ronda tap Hunter.
I like it, man. I think that is a solid thing to do. It builds
You want to make
Rousey's
this chick seem like
more.
a badass.
Yeah.
You have her tap out a, 13-time heavyweight champion of the world?
Let's tap out the game, man. Let's do it. I like it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's legit.
And now if it doesn't happen, I blame you for me being disappointed.
Right?
Okay. Guys, it's the moment that we've been all waiting for. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
We got one match to talk about because there's going to be a match, right?
I don't know.
I mean,
brand new thought as of today, sitting in my garage.
We can't have Cena calling The Undertaker a bitch for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever this has been, and nothing happened, right?
What if, okay, picture this. Kid Rock comes out. I am the American, the whole song.
Yeah,
the whole,
obviously.
The whole Metallica song that he raps over. Mm-hmm. And then Taker rides a bike to the ring, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, it's Biker Taker," and he's like, "Nah, man, it's just Mark. This is just me." And he's wearing some house shoes. He's like, man, like I just
robe,
just like chilling, guys.
Not an Undertaker robe, like a Hugh Hefner robe.
Yeah, not even like a Hugh Hefner robe. Just like I wear frequently around my house a bathrobe with like
a
basketball.
terry cloth bathrobe.
Yeah, man, he's just like, hey,
and it's like baby blue.
Yeah, and he's like, Cena's like, oh, what? You coming out to the ring to fight in slippers? And he's like, no, man, like, yo, dude, chill, man.
I retired.
Yeah, like, quit. No, like, this is just grow up. Grow up, man. Just grow up. And Cena, like, has a moment of, like, reflection. And he's like, okay. And the next time we see Cena, he's not wearing jorts. He's wearing, like, age-appropriate shorts that stop, like, slightly at the knee. He's wearing not, like, 1990 Shaq pumps. He's wearing, like a sensible pair of, like, shoes that are, good to walk in. I'm not saying like Skechers or anything, but like a sensible pair of shoes. Maybe it's a turning point. Maybe it's just like, maybe it's a turning point in the John Cena character where he's like, I am now adult Cena.
He just dresses like his character from the movie Blockers.
And I wear sensible shoes now.
And plaid button-up shirts. And
shorts.
I tuck them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I like that idea at all. So anyway,
that one really got away from me.
It really does, but
seriously, it really got away from me. But what if, like, honestly, Taker really does just come out and is like, "Hey, look, man, like, I'm done. Like, I'm sorry that you don't have anything to do tonight, but like, what if this is like actually like the Taker retirement speech? Is this right here?"
I think that would be as popular as what's the old saying, a fart in church. I don't see them building or letting this build the way that it has built, all one-sided, all John Cena, and then not doing anything. Like, this is either going to lead to an impromptu match, or it's going to be simply a Taker shows up, tombstones John Cena, and that's the end. You don't build up like this to let people down on the biggest stage of them all, man. It's just dumb business.
Yeah.
So, the match is going to happen. I feel like this is it. I feel you have turned me on the whole biker thing. I actually want that now. If he's gonna come back, let's do Biker Taker.
Let's do it, man. Come on.
Let's have Kid Rock play him out. It definitely signifies the fact that him laying the hat and the gloves and the jacket in the ring last year is the Undertaker's gone. The Undertaker, the Phenom, is gone. All that's left is the Biker Taker because that was really Mark Calloway. Let's bring him down. Let's do it. He's gonna win. He goes out last,
better idea. He comes down and he finds out that, spoiler alert, the Undertaker never happened. It was a Jacob's Ladder scenario, and he's actually dying in a bike wreck. Oh, that's deep. That's a deep storyline. That he actually, like Mark Calloway actually died in 1990 in a bike wreck after signing a deal with WWF, and the Undertaker was all Jacob's Ladder scenario.
All right, and I'm super confused. So, who wins this match if it takes place?
Undertaker.
Same. It's got to be. He can't. As much as the legend should go out looking at the lights, this is one legend that I think is due his time. It's not going to hurt Cena, and Cena's still got a couple years in the tank. If this is truly the end, I think Taker needs to go out with his hand in the air, and that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want Taker to win, but if he's got to beat someone, John Cena's the best person to beat.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Wow. Well, I think we got through it all. I just want to throw this out there. We don't have to spend all day on it because we've already spent all day on everything. Everything. If you are looking somewhere else for the info on WrestleMania, you don't know what you're missing over here on Drive-By, man. We covered it all. We gave you brilliant insight, and we even painted a few pretty pictures for you with happy little bushes. And you can't get that anymore because Bob Ross is dead. How does this... he is. How does this card, and we'll say on paper, how does this card compare to other Mania cards?
Top 3?
Because I have to say, on paper, before seeing these matches, this is the best WrestleMania card I've ever seen.
This is certainly, if you don't think this is the best card, you certainly think it rivals that. Like, remember that 2001 to 2004 period,
right?
Where the influx of WCW, DCW guys, and you're just getting I never thought I'd see Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy. I never
where you
thought
had the most loaded roster until now.
Until now. It's
and
certainly,
that's the thing.
Yes.
People want to sit and bitch, but 2018, holy shit. I mean, when you've got guys in NXT that could be main roster champions, and you have main roster guys who aren't even in the title picture that could be champions, you have a loaded roster, and I am so excited for 2018 in pro wrestling, and 2019, and the future is so flippin' bright for wrestling that I'm just so glad that I'm a fan, man.
I am so excited for this. I'm so happy to be a fan at this point in time. I mean, you can't really, there's no complaints about this. You can't complain about this. We're in a golden era of WWE. Look at this card. It is everything for everyone.
It's stacked. So, I mean, I guess we're going to take this home, Mike. We'll let everybody know. Hall of Fame already happened. If you're listening to this, we record on Friday, but I want to let you know Saturday. So if you're listening to this the day it drops, NXT TakeOver. I will be doing, barring some crazy thing happening, I will be doing a post show live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Nearfall Network. Probably be about 10 minutes after TakeOver finishes. Give me time to get situated, get everything set up. I will do a live video feed. Come on, talk to me. Interact with me. We will discuss what will probably be an epic takeover. And then, on Sunday, after WrestleMania, what we got going on after WrestleMania, Mike?
Well, even before WrestleMania, you'll be able to view my lovely face. And I don't say that hesitantly at all. I am just devastatingly attractive.
The man with the lovely face and the photogenic dick.
Yes. So we will be doing the pre-show for that. We'll be on
slightly before the pre-show, myself and the High Five Motherfucker, and then I will be joining you again for the post-show.
Lovely. I will be in bed immediately following WrestleMania, and I think you and I will catch up next week on Drive-By.
Yes,
All Things
we will
Mania.
cover
Talk about the card.
All Things Mania.
I'm sure that you and the High Fiver will do a splendid job, but I'm also sure that we will have a lot of Fallout to talk about, and we'll just give our overall opinions together on it as well. I think that we have literally covered everything. I don't know what more you people want, but I can't give it to you. This is all I got. How about you?
Nothing. I have nothing left to
I'm
give.
drained. I'm tired. I got to put this damn thing together now and put it out for all you beautiful people to listen to.
This is literally like my part of it's finished at this, so.
I know. I got to give you more responsibility.
No.
But anyway, guys. It's been an awesome talk. It's WrestleMania. It is the reset button, guys, and we have a stat card. Sit back, enjoy it. Watch it as a fan. Just don't critique it as this guy's work rate sucks. Just watch the match, watch the stories, be entertained. It's gonna be a good show no matter what, and let's just hope that there's some good storylines that come out of this and some good matches that come out of it, and I know there will be. I say it every week. It's been real. It's been fun. We will catch you next time.
Later, peasants.